My roommate hates to throw things away, even if they don't work, and especially if it was something expensive to buy. Case in point, we have 7 vacuum cleaners in our house. 7. None of them are fully functional. Pray for me. My roommate had a crush on a mutual friend. She came to a party one night with a guy I assume was her boyfriend. They were sitting on the couch holding hands when my roommate walked in. He made a beeline for her, gave her a big hug, and picked up her hand to take it out of her BF's hand. He then squeezed himself between them. Literally, his leg and butt cheek were smushed up against the guy as he focused on his crush. Somehow he missed everyone's glares and couldn't figure out why his crush soon left. He really is that dense. I'm a teacher. Last year we had a mom request that we completely change our big end-of-year field trip because her child had already been to the location and she wanted him to experience something new. This request was made 3 days before the trip. A friend asked if I'd let another friend of his stay with me for a while. The other friend had gotten served divorce papers and needed a place to stay while he got back on his feet. After he moved in, I got the story. He had gone to a flower shop on Valentine's Day to get some flowers for his sided chick. He thought he was smart by paying for the flowers in cash, but his wife had hired a private investigator to follow him, and it turns out that Valentine's Day is like the Super Bowl of cheaters getting caught. In my personal life, my Mill is raging that her ex-husband, divorced for over 20 years, didn't take her on vacation with him and his current fiancée because they were married once, so she deserves to go just as much as her. My roommate had just moved out of his parents' house and, to his credit, wanted to learn how to cook. So he bought a copy of Cooking for Dummies and picked out a recipe for a roast. He then turned on the oven to preheat it and put the book down on the stovetop to get some stuff from the fridge. A few minutes later, our smoke detectors went off. The book was a smoldering mess. Apparently, he had turned on the burner under his book rather than the oven. I still laugh about the irony to this day. I work at the front desk of a doctor's office. A woman came into her appointment on the 6th floor, but when her appointment was over, the elevator was down. She demanded we call the fire department so that they could carry her down the stairs. I was working at a coffee shop with my headphones on, just typing away when a dad and his little kid sat nearby. After a few minutes, the kid started peeking at my screen and then asked if he could play games on my laptop. I politely said it was for work, but the dad jumped in and said, "Come on, just give him a few minutes, he's bored." I laughed nervously and said no again, and the dad actually scoffed and said it's not like you own the internet at that point. I just packed up my laptop and left before I lost my temper. I was placing asphalt at this medical school when I saw this petty young lady wearing fancy flip-flops. I said, "Excuse me, miss, you don't want to walk on that asphalt, it's 325 degrees. With utter contempt, she replied, "Excuse you, I'm going to be a doctor." She charged past me, nearly got run over by the roller, then realized it was hot. Ow, 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 and kept going right onto the fresh tack, the gooey, sticky tar that binds the layers together. She lost a flip-flop, tripped, and glared at me with scalpels for eyes. I had to walk away because it was too funny. Apparently she complained because some bigwig came down an hour later. The superintendent told him off. We are not responsible for idiots who ignore warnings not to be stupid. Many years ago I was renting my house out. Had multiple applications and showings, but the weirdest one was a woman with her husband and 3 teenage boys who ran around the hole. Time playing tag. I was just hoping they didn't break anything. Her. You said it had 4 bedrooms. Me. It does have 4. Her. But only 2 have a private bathroom. The other 2 have to share one. My guys don't like to share. Me. Okay. Her. You'll need to repaint to a more calming color and the flooring in the kitchen is cracked. Me. The entire inside was just painted white and there is 1 cracked tile. Maybe this house is not for you. Ter. No, we'll take it. You'll just have to make some changes for it to fit our needs. Me. No thanks. Bye. My friend is a small business owner who makes cupcakes and takes orders through her Instagram page. One day, a girl with 2,000 followers messaged her for $100 worth of products. The next day, my friend got the order ready for pickup. The girl took the bag and started walking to her car. Of course, my friend chased after her and asked for payment first. The girl, confused, said, "But I'm an influencer." My friend explained she had never mentioned a collaboration in her message, but the girl kept going on about her following and how she made the effort to come pick up the order. My friend explained she was a small business and couldn't afford to give away $100 worth of products. The girl left, but threatened to leave a bad review. My friend later found out she did have an alternate account where she had a larger following, and now she's hoping the girl doesn't post negatively about her. Got my tax refund last week. $3K from tax refund plus $2K that I won on stake that I'm planning on using at security deposit on a new apartment. And somehow this became office gossip. Now my desk neighbor thinks this makes me the workplace bank apparently. She straight up asked me to lend her $500 for her vacation because you just got all that money back from taxes anyway. Like, ma'am, that's literally my money that the government was holding hostage all year, imao. When I said no, she hit me with, wow, I thought we were friends. And now she's telling everyone I'm being greedy with my windfall. I was kneeling on the floor performing aggressive CPR on a patient who had collapsed, and a lady who was with a patient who was waiting for treatment of a minor injury pulled my hair to force my attention to her, and then held up an empty coffee cup and said, I really need another cup. Another staff member led her to the coffee station where she filled up her cup and proceeded to pour the scalding hot coffee down my back. Maybe that'll teach you to listen to people, she said. I needed treatment for serious second-degree burns to my back and some sensitive areas of my body. Coffee dripped down my back in underwear. She was arrested for assault, but the cruel entitlement of this woman, while I was desperately trying to keep someone else from dying, just blew my mind and broke me inside. Recovering from the burns was less painful. I was waiting to see my grandpa in the hospital. This parent started grilling the doctors about how their baby should go first and how they were obviously in pain. The kid was looking at the fish tank. The doctor said, we have people who are in real emergencies. Your kid just got a dried bean stuck up their nose. You can wait. The parent said, well, my baby should go first. He has to go to bed. The doctor said, well, if your kid has to go to bed, then they can go home and you can come back in the morning. The parent was dumbfounded. I am an ER nurse. Most ERs are overcrowded. There's simply no space to care for the staggering amount of people who walk through our doors. As a result, patients are often in hallway spaces. One evening, a patient's husband berated me because I'm a millionaire. Why isn't my wife in a room? I said, look around you. Every space we have is being used. To be clear, she was in no way, shape, or form in an emergent state. With arms crossed and a look of disgust on his face, he replied, well, can you send some of them out so my wife can have a room? I worked in the college program. One of my closest friends had to work on Christmas Day and was already sad to be away from her family on the holiday after recently losing a close family member while we were in the program. The ice cream machine broke, which happens when too many people are getting ice cream at the same time, and it doesn't have time to freeze. The chocolate ice cream wasn't working, and my friend offered a customer a free vanilla cone instead for the trouble. The adult woman said to her, I'm glad you can't be with your family on Christmas, and stormed away, all because they were out of chocolate ice cream. I once had a roommate who could not, for the life of him, figure out why the bathroom floor kept getting so wet every time he showered. He once said, exasperated, aren't the little magnet things at the bottom of the shower curtain supposed to hold it in place? That's when it dawned on me, and I asked him, do you keep the curtain liner in or out of the tub? Sure enough, he would pull the liner out of the tub before showering, but thought the magnets meant to keep it in place would form some sort of seal. He was 23 at the time. I was just standing outside a bakery waiting for my friend to pick me up. Lady walks up, rattles the door. Locked. She sees me standing there, in a black hoodie and jeans, holding a coffee. Well, are you going to open or not? It's already 8. I blink. I don't work here. She actually rolls her eyes. Don't lie. You're literally standing at the door. I step aside. I'm literally just loitering. She starts pulling on the handle like that's going to make it magically open. I'm going to report you. This is terrible customer service. Okay. Good luck with that, lady.